for the third time. Hello, everybody, and hopefully now you can all hear me and I can say hello and hola to Unholy Mole. Let me repeat some of the shit that I was saying to start with, that this is an impromptu stream for no good reason other than I found something kind of disturbing and I wanted to fuck with my bots. And I'm bored because it's raining outside, so there's no landscaping today. With that, how are you, Mole? Anybody else? How are you? Anybody at all joining me later to watch this, if it is important enough to maybe watch? Hey, I was watching Twitter, and an article came across about somebody defending their pit bulls, and we all know how some dogs are. Pit bulls are no exception to the rule. Let me look in my settings here. Where did I save this video? Because what I did was I went to this lady's Facebook page and I decided to go through and copy this video out that she had. Apparently, and I don't have a whole lot of info yet, apparently she was at the door in her wheelchair and a pit bull came running through and tore up part of her house and attacked and killed her cat. Which, if anybody's owned a dog and or a cat and or seen a dog attack a cat or even kill a cat, it is gruesome to watch, and they don't stop until it stops moving, and then they make a few more, they're aggressive. It doesn't matter the type of dog, but pit bulls apparently have something in their temper where it's sort of like a short fuse kind of thing, and it'll set them off. Today is the 7th, no, today's the 25th. Okay, right here, I found it. Let me open this video up. Hopefully I can let you guys see and hear everything. I got a few things set up to make changes, assuming my computer wants to work with me. Please don't play the video till I'm ready. Wait for it. Wait. There's no audio. Why is there no audio from the video? That might be for the best because it is just a lady crying. Can't play. Another app is controlling your sound. To listen, close that app and try again. You know what? Fuck you. I'll do this my way. Welcome, Nella. Let me make a few little switches and move that over there. Okay. So, this is the scene where a pit bull attacked a cat. And I'm sorry if you are vegan, I apologize, but this is just something that came across. It won't let me play it here. So, what else can I do? What else can I do, guys? Again, let me restate that this little old lady in a wheelchair tried to block a pit bull from getting into her house. And when she blocked the pit bull, it got through, tore through her house, chasing down a cat of hers in the house, and proceeded to kill the cat. I don't have any audio on that. Why is there no audio on that? Basically, this lady screamed and cried as this dog, the cat is already dead, as this dog decided to attack the cat. But that not being the most important part of this, that's just the video that went after that. It's a short clip, and what bothered me is that this clip was up on Facebook. We're gonna get to more fun things, guys. This is just something that popped up in my feed this morning and caught my attention, to say the least. Let's open this up and I will show you an image that I pulled from Facebook. I don't know how clearly that's going to come through. This just got me. It's not going to be very clear for you guys, but this was on the page of the lady who posted the video of the cat. And 378 people angry, 282 people laughing, 282 people crying, 141 likes, 66 all, 14 hearts. 14 hearts. Let's let that sink in, that some people thought that a dog eating a cat was definitely a fun, happy thing to see. I should have blacked the name out. It's got 1.4 thousand shares and 10,000 views, and it is absolutely horrifying to watch a cat get mauled by a dog, especially a pit bull, because doesn't take that much to get it. But whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. And I'll have to fix that later. I just fucked up a file on my computer. No biggie. That though is... What did I do? Did I just do that again? Never mind. Never mind. I'm just messing around now, guys. We're gonna get to the bots here. We need to program us some bots. This is just a hangout stream. I don't even have my... Do I have my bots in here? Bots, please respond. Where are the bots? Let's type in for a bot. Let's see where the bots are. Bot. Oh, where are you, bot? I know I turned you on. Interesting that you're not working. Bot. One day we will rule this shit. There we go. There we go. Let's see if the other bots are responding. Nightbot, please respond. Where is it? Fuck you, Nightbot, because I can't spell. What's going on? What's going on? There we go, Nightbot. There we go. All right, let me get my bot programming things running here, and we'll go to Nightbot. And who do we got? We got Nella and Mole in the chat. They get to have their own personalized... Oh well. They get to have their own personalized bot responses. So if you're in the room right now, and you don't have a wrench, I'll give you a wrench. If you are in the room right now and you want a special response that you get to pick to the bots, you get to tell me what it is while I load up how to get to the bots. I'm wondering why they're not taking me right there. There we go. Off to the Nightbot. Log in with YouTube. The wrenches stopped getting handed out to everybody at 200. Now they get handed out to people on the show. And I guess on a show like this, if somebody pops in without a wrench, I might throw a wrench at them. Catch. If you can dodge a ball, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. My soundboard's not open. I got a lot of stuff on this end right now. Alright, we've got Nightbot open. We've got the add command prompt open, and we're gonna, if nobody's gonna give me one, I'm just gonna put in commands for people. Cooking Polish food. I'm not Polish. I don't know how to cook Polish food. But I did manage to cook myself a nice meal in like 10 minutes. Some bacon, eggs, sausage, and cheese on toast with an extra egg and some extra bacon just 'cause I'm hungry. It was a good snack. And I spelled Nella wrong. Nella, do you have a personalized command you would like? Yes, but apparently I found out that my schnitzel wasn't how real schnitzel was made, but the shit was still good. It was really good. Delicious, I would even say. Delicious. Because I'm like that. Hey, Mole, are you still here? Maybe I need to make Mole and... Dun, 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 dun. Are you gonna work? Hold on. There it is. I don't like how that turned out. That's screwed up. Let me find it and I'll edit it. Find. Show me 100 entries on the page because I think I'm just shy of that or just over that. And for Nella, we're gonna adjust the Nella one and edit. What would you like it to be? Let's see. I have... what did I put in here? Someone has arrived. They are here. It is Nella. I don't like that. It's too boring. What would you like? What would you like? It's a good thing I don't have 100 people in here asking for responses all at once. My fingers would probably hurt. I don't have 100 people to watch me at one time anyways. Ha! But I need my soundboard. You're fine. I'm the one being boring. I've got 2 whole people watching me. Woo. At least I know my show is more interesting than I am. Not this show, obviously. Either one of my other shows. Hello, Alenska. How are you? We're just hanging out today. Would you like your own personalized bot commands? Because that's what I'm working on right now. There we go. I like that one a little better. So let me see. We're gonna type in hello Nella into chat. And that should bring back the bot response. No, because hello brings back hello calls. Sit down and shut up. I'm trying to watch the show. That's Skullbot. Which one did I program that into? I don't know how to take that one out. So that means Nella cannot be hello Nella. It has to be just Nella. How about we do hi Nella? No, because I think hi is also a prerequisite. But we'll try it. We will try it. Uh-oh. What are you giving me? Oh, hell, if I click it in a spot where I can actually click on it. Alright, let me turn off my audio so I don't get copyrighted on anything. And what do we got? What do we have? We have this here. We have
It's one of the most popular Indian dishes on the face of the planet, but it has its origin in Britain. Go figure. Anyhow, I'm going to show you exactly how to make my special chicken tikka masala, and I think it's personally the best, and it'll be a perfect addition to your Indian recipe arsenal. Let's begin. I want a ton of flavor in this chicken tikka masala.
Okay, ton of flavor it is. We will watch the chicken tikka masala later, because I'm not one for huge saucy dinners, but sometimes, mostly if my wife doesn't like the sauces and stuff, but I'm definitely up for trying things. Let's try Hi Nella in there and see if that does anything other than screw off the bots. Share so I can join you. No. Alright, so what I need to do then is, which bot did I program the kill phrase into? I don't think it's this one. So we can come down here and we can go Hi Nella, edit. I need to leave that window up here so I can see if I go red on my stream. So let's put that one up there. And then we'll, shall we try the, let's just do Nella. Make sure it works. Anything? I'll put this back over here now so you guys can see what I'm working on. We'll make it big, not that it matters. All right, on to Alenska. Alenska, or no, wait, we still have Unholy Mole in here somewhere. We're gonna add one for Unholy Mole. Dum da dum dum. Am I typing in the right place? Damn. Alright, let's type down here. Oh, I am typing in the right place. It went. Alright, cool. Just lag. Talk about a little lag. Whoa. Pardon me one moment while my phone rings because I forgot to mute. There's no audio, guys. I know it was a chicken recipe. My sister called. Being that we lost our mother last year, we all have our different ways of coping, and mine was, oh shit, I'm having a hard time, I'm going to see a doctor. My sister was, my job is killing me, I quit my job, I should finally go see a doctor. So she's doing all the testing I did last year after we lost our mom to a heart attack. So she's all worried and didn't want to stop talking. So my apologies. I'm back. Not that this is a huge stream anyways. Just messing around here. Messing around. Let's see. What do I got here? What do I got? Let's mess with some things here. Let's take all my tabs away so you guys don't see those. I should have thought about that before. Alright. What are we going to add now? I got one for Unholy Mole. I got one for Nella. Olenska popped in. Oops, Olenska doesn't have an... No, I can't spell. Olenska. Are you still here, Olenska? Because if you are, this is either going to be funny or not funny. Onions. I love onions. By the way, if you want to stay healthy, drink some apple cider vinegar. 1 shot of apple cider vinegar every day. I don't do it, but I'm told it works from people who are in the reserves. I'm going to type Olenska in the chat. If I can spell. Olenska. Let's see what that does. Now we sit back and wait for the bot to respond. And she's probably not here to see what I made for her. Or she would either laugh or yell at me right now. Green barley and garlic are effective too. My mom believed entirely in garlic and onions being a part of every meal, that it helped make you healthy. And while I tend to agree with that, my mom died in an early age of a heart attack. So I guess they're not all that healthy. That's not a downer on onions and garlic. My mom had things that she didn't take care of in her health. And if you don't take care of your health, it's bound to fail. If you don't fix your car, it's going to break down. What else can I do today? We still have the secret word that'll kill the bot. Let's see. Who do I even have here? Do I have a bot? What's going on here? What is going on here? Different things help with different things. I think it's like cranberry juice and certain things that are high in antioxidants. They will help with fighting different infections that need oxygen to live, because the antioxidants kill the oxygen that gets into your stream or something like that. Oxygen causes problems in your blood, or pure oxygen unfiltered by your body causes problems with blood and organs and tissues when they're exposed to it for too long. Also known when things rust, called oxidation. Oxygen really is harmful. So antioxidants help break up what oxygen does to your system or something. I forget exactly how that works. Garlic and onions have something in them. There's an acid in them that helps fight certain bacterias. Ginger and even ginger ale being a quality. Ginger has muscle relaxing capabilities. It relaxes the muscles which are predominantly found in your stomach and in your intestines to help them keep from tightening. So if you're coughing a lot, or if you have an upset stomach and you're throwing up a lot, the reason they try to give you ginger ale is to calm your stomach muscles, to keep them from tensing up and forcing you to get sick. And raw lemon juice helps a lot. Really? I didn't know that. I like lemons. I'll eat straight lemons every once in a while, or fresh fruit. I've heard fresh fruit is good with things like arthritis. I've never heard straight lemon juice was good for arthritis, as a person who's had arthritis for most of his life. And you hear my bones cracking. Just moving cracks my bones. See, how long am I going to stream today? Maybe 15 more. No. How long have I been on? Where's my time? I've been streaming for half an hour. Look at that. Maybe I'll just do a half an hour today. I didn't see anybody else streaming. I was bored and in between doing things, and I thought, what the hell? I might as well hop on and play with my bots. And we got 3 new commands, and I showed an article about a dog chewing up a cat. It's been an interesting show. What else do I have for everybody today? Oh, well, yeah, YouTube's fucked. We could talk about freedom of speech. We could talk about, we could, yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. If I get inflammation, the way to survive painkillers. Alenska, type your name into the chat. There's a YouTube thing, and I've started touching on this, but I guess since I'm going to ramble for a minute, let me ramble about a mediocre topic. Facebook was in front of the Senate and the House to answer questions that they deemed necessary to see if they have to put laws on the books that give responsibility to the government over some of what Facebook had. You like that, Alenska? Over some of what Facebook does. Now, as long as Facebook does not have government oversight in what they do, Facebook can decide what to and what not to publish. Like any magazine or book, they can decide what to put in there and what to leave out based on their own decisions, regardless of who makes them or how they come about those decisions. If the government decides to step in, then the government starts to put down oversight and regulations on what they can and can't cut in and out. Then it comes down to the government now controlling Facebook, which means Facebook now can only do things within the confines of what the government allows. So now it becomes, if the government says freedom of speech is justified, then Facebook can't always necessarily tell you that what you're saying is not part of free speech. Because they're an individual organization, and when I say Facebook, this applies to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Minds, Gab, Patreon, everybody. While they're an individual corporation, their rules are going to usually work within the confines of the laws, but based on their own preferences as a company. So free speech on a site that is not government controlled is not going to happen, regardless of how much everybody wants to push for it. It comes down to what the site feels okay with being responsible for publishing. And we see this in television vaguely. When you see television shows on networks that are in a certain situation, they always kind of repeat the same kind of setup, like OGN or whatever it is. The Hallmark Channel, all the movies are kind of the same motif. They're laid out the same because there's the television rules and what you can show on television, and then there's the company rules on what they would like to do and how they would like to run their company. If the government steps into places like Facebook, Twitter, and any other social media to enforce our free speech on a private site, it's no longer a private site. So, I am all for free speech. I think people should be able to say what they want, and what they said should be able to stay. And then we can look at them and judge them by what they say. At the same time, having stopped and looked back and noticed somebody coming into the spotlight, I see Candace Owens popping up again. And we all remember Social Autopsy, which was basically the collection of and archiving of items that people had said, which could be brought together to say, this is who this person is, and did she inadvertently make it so they could track the person down, or was that a huge part of it? But it's kind of doing the same thing. Free speech is problematic. I don't have an opinion about it. I'm pro free speech because we don't have anything better right now. Okay. Free speech is important, and if we look at the Dankula trial the other day, post-trial, a reporter asked him question, point blank asking him, is it okay that you said gas the Jews 23 times in this video? You were held on trial and fined 800 lira for gassing the Jews because what you did was illegal. Well, based on the fact that I was found illegal, you saying it was also illegal, and therefore you have broken the law, same law I have, and what, you get 2 years of trial and an $800 fine. They're not getting the point of, you should be able to say what you want to say and leave it there. No biggie. It's how what you say is interpreted to other people, and when is it the site's responsibility to take the interpretation? We only want people to see things in this way, so we're going to remove things that allow them to see it in other ways. That's their choice. You're on that site by your choice. The government is run by laws. It's not by choices. People make the choice to lay down the law. Once it's law, it's no longer choice, it's now action. If we lay down law, making it so that the government has oversight over the freedom of speech on private social media entities like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, then yes, we will be allowed as Americans to post what we want, how we want, and say what we want, so long as we don't incur on anybody else's freedoms, like threatening to kill anybody or putting a plot together to blow up the White House. Freedom of expression. It's also freedom of speech. Freedom of, well, as me, freedom of speech and freedom of expression are kind of the same thing, because you express yourself in the speech that you have, and in the speech that you have, you express yourself. They kind of can't be. Art is a form of speech. It can be artistic expression. I meant free speech in context of tribalism. Speech in context of the ability to get your opinion out no matter how you do it, whether you do it with words, whether you do it with writing, whether you do it with a video, whether you do it with a book, whether you do it with quietly standing. It is your way of expressing. So I guess words could be expression, but expression could be words. I'm not going to argue this philosophically. I work myself into a circle. The problem becomes, I understand the crap with CNN trying to say, okay, but they're doing this, and they're doing this, and they're doing this, and they're doing this. What it is CNN is showing that YouTube and Facebook are operating differently than television organizations have been forced to. Because television organizations have had this means of the way they broadcast and the rules that are set down. The internet doesn't have these rules that apply to YouTube and Facebook and things. We have things that we understandably want blocked from the sites, but it is up to the site to block it. It is not like HBO or Cinemax having to wait till 11:30 or midnight and only getting a 4-hour window to play the Skinemax shows. It's not like What's another one? It's not like who play Adult Swim. I don't even know what channel that's on anymore. It's not like the Adult Swim shows where there's yelling and swearing. Things you won't find on regular TV. YouTube and Facebook don't have these rules and partitions that don't allow certain things. And if they did, how would they prohibit people from putting those up on such large platforms? And let's say they could. Let's say we started... Oh, hello, Malachi. Sorry I missed you. Hello, smart astronaut. If Facebook wants to censor and secretly shape what people see, they should be held responsible for all the legal material that gets on their site. Why? Smart astronaut, if I write a book and everything in the book is a lie and the book sells #1 on the bestseller list, whose fault is that? Who should be in trouble? Who should censor my book? To what purpose? Subscribers to a site are purchasers of the book. The site is the book. The book may change based on what the site wants. Okay, cool. It's like a updating encyclopedia. The encyclopedia still controls what they publish. It's not up to the people that buy the encyclopedia to pick what the encyclopedia publishes. It's up to the people that buy the encyclopedia to pick which encyclopedia they want based on how it's published. So, to say that you're censoring to control what people see, well, what you write in a book, how you interpret things and write a story out, changes how people see things. Are you then responsible for who reads what you wrote and goes out and does something else? Is that your responsibility because you wrote the book, you put the idea out there, that somebody else took the idea and used it in another way? It's a really hard battle, and again, me always trying to question every side of the line, it's hard for me to keep a train of thought on this. I understand the companies should and do have the ability to control what they put out on their site. So if you post something and they don't want to show it, that's up to them. It's their site. It's not our site. If you want to post and show something, you should be able to. The argument comes back from the CNN side where, oh, they're posting ads on these videos. What they're trying to do is pick out videos that they could say are on the line of what television is allowed to do and go, well, they're pushing that line. They're not abiding by the rules of broadcasting or whatever it may be. They don't feel that people that are putting YouTube videos out are abiding by the rules of what other people who put their shows and videos out are abiding by. And by not abiding by it, they get that, but they get to do this. And then we're turning around and going, but they get to do that. They have ads on their videos and I can't have ads anymore. Well, you're saying this, but they're saying the same thing. But you're saying that, but they're saying the same things. But no. We are creators. We are in a pool. If YouTube had never paid anybody for doing this, would anybody do this? Would this be an issue? I don't know what the it's not is to. You're saying I agree with them being legally responsible, but if we were in another scenario, legally they would be. Being legally, not saying that I agree with them being legally responsible, but if we're in another scenario, legally they would be. I'm kind of confused about that, to be honest. If you want to put a flyer up, you can write anything you want on the flyer. If you want to hang it somewhere, the place where you hang it, and you usually ask for permission to hang it, usually, is going to approve or deny based on whether or not they agree or falls into their line with what they want to share. So if you go to your local grocery store and you're trying to sell a dog, they're going to be okay with that. But if you're trying to sell your liver, they're probably not going to be all right with that. I agree with that. I don't really want Facebook regulated behind having to be upfront about their censorship. Yes. If you put a video up and they go, we don't agree with this video because it has this, this, and this in it, and they tell you that up front, that's fine. If they decide that you put that video up and the people who usually watch your videos don't get to see it because Facebook didn't agree with something you put in your video, then there should be a way to share that information. Like, Facebook does not agree with what's put in this video. It does not fall into line with our business model or whatever. All in all, I just want transparency with companies and not legal action. If a company wants to suppress stuff, so be it. But I don't like the force them not all method and holding them back behind another reason. Absolutely. And that goes probably to my YouTube comment where some people get paid and some people don't. And if we say the exact same thing Jimmy Kimmel says, are we going to be allowed to run GMC ads on our videos? I guess a small part of that goes into the fact that Jimmy Kimmel's show sells, sells, how does that work? They sell advertisements to Jimmy Kimmel's show, and Jimmy Kimmel moves up. I don't know how YouTube would do the Jimmy Kimmel advertising on YouTube. That doesn't make sense to me, so I don't understand how that whole follow-through logic. In regards to the conversation between smart astronauts. Oh, okay. If there was a site on Polish Facebook that was mocking religious ones, Christianity, Islam, and they just mocked Judaism, suddenly the site has been deleted. That's another thing, is back to the transparency, I guess, is the best place to put this, is if a site has a belief in a religion, okay, we strongly believe that all religions should be treated equally, or all religions aren't allowed here, then they need to hold that across the line. There's no reason that somebody should be able to sit and scream at Christianity that it's wrong, but the moment they turn and say, but Islam also does this, so Islam must also be wrong for doing the same thing. So that's it, you're done, no more advertising, your channel shut down, we can't allow you to yell at Islam. Don't get me into the whole feminism in Islam and shit. I don't need to talk about that right now. Let's stay with the censorship, because that one seems to be working for me. My mind is on censorship now. Should be allowed. I don't agree they shouldn't delete it either. That's another thing. YouTube's policies and guidelines, the vagueness of what they will allow, what they won't allow, what they'll delete, and what they don't delete. I was watching Bubonic's Morning Word yesterday, and it was shut down because of a picture, which is like dozens of other pictures, hundreds I bet even, that he's had on his show, of a woman with a beautifully round ass. Perfect, I'd even dare to say, in some aspects. And that was seen as indecent and nudity or something like that, is what his this video has been taken down said. If you're gonna not allow nudity, then nowhere on YouTube should I find nude yoga. If you are going to not allow bikinis, now I'm going to question that a little bit more, because it was hard to see, because she did have a round butt, but she did have a bikini on. It was there. You could just see voluptuous ass cheeks, and some of it disappeared between them. Does that make that picture wrong? If one person wants to talk about Judaism being bad, and the next person wants to talk about Catholicism being bad, is one inherently worse than another? It's hard, I bet, as a site getting 400 hours worth. I don't think they still get 400 hours worth of video uploaded every minute to go through all of their content. But it's pretty easy to go through and see where they make huge errors. And the errors, I think, are the fact that we as humans developed robots. And Most people who understand technology understand how the bots work. And I don't care how smart or how learned the YouTube or any other bot gets on these sites. They will not learn how to outsmart humans entirely. We will continue to come up with ways to try and outsmart them. And in their effort to try and be smarter than us, for a long time at least, it's going to come to a point where, in an effort to try and curb and keep us from saying what we can, they're going to have to delete things that we are allowed to say. Did I say that wrong? I think I said that wrong. In their effort to try to remove the things that they don't want there, they're going to inadvertently hit things that they do want there because they're using a bot. I saw something here. What do you think about free speech in context of criticizing the government? The government absolutely needs to be criticized. There is everything wrong with the government, especially the fact that the government is made up of the people. Even in the United States, a government of the people, for the people, by the people. Well, it's still being run by people. Not saying that it should be run by robots, because that would be worse, as we can see with YouTube. As long as you're not, in your freedom of speech, inciting riot against the government for the government pertaining to the duties that it's supposed to do, you're fine. If you incite riot in any way, shape, or form, that's not cool unless you want a civil war. How do you argue with the government and speak up against the government and hope it doesn't turn into a government versus the people kind of thing? It's always going to be the government versus the people. And in some Western societies, the people get a chance to get into the government. The problem is that, not that it's well established in its time or its manners, but the government is so well established in the way that people do things to keep them working properly, that having a person come into this new entity, that person changes to be more like the entity than the entity changing to suit what the person came in to fix. The opposite of what's happening in some areas, where people are coming in, instead of people getting used to the area they live in and living like that, they bring what they had into the area and try to flood the area with change. So I guess if you switched up enough of the government in one fatal swoop, if enough elections were swung with new people, and you got enough new people into the government at the same time, the government would change. But the problem is, too many people get reelected, and they stay in there for so long that what they learned and carry stays, and then it just keeps carrying through. Government can discuss with guns. The government has firepower and own money. They are being questioned. They are to be questioned all the time. Yes. Okay, that took me a couple times to read through. I must be starting to thin out here. My drink's getting a little empty. By the way, I was drinking before I came on today. Yay! A little early drinking, why not? Nothing better to do, it's raining out. In my opinion, the government was formed so that the government and the body of people had equal power. And I've had this argument before, that should members of the constituency of the United States be given access to powers equal to that of the powers given to the United States military? Yes. Yes, they should. The military's responsibility is to keep the people in the constituency safe. If somebody in the constituency has a jet and the military has a jet, we're equal. If the military gets 6, then we need 6 in the civilian population. Somebody better take their money and spend it on jets. We should be able to take out our own government at any time. Can we do that right now? No. It would literally take every single state to fight against the national government in order for our government to fight itself. Which is not the way it was written. It was written so that if the people needed to correct the government, we could. And at the same time, that's also written in the way that our laws are there. Because if you go in and have the intent to change something for the betterment of people, anybody can join the government as long as they fall within that state's rights. And that's where you get into governmental parties, making it harder for people to run in their party without party backing. And that's where you start to take the power away from the people. Yeah, but there you have tribalism. Some big part of citizens choose certain governments and don't question it. They demand you for not questioning. Either you'll be labeled as a traitor. A traitor. Is a traitor somebody that says the government has overstepped its bounds and stands up to them for overstepping? Or is a traitor somebody that took something the government knew, turned around, and used it against the government? A traitor is somebody who uses what they know against their affiliation, I guess would be a good word to use. If you work for the government, you take a bunch of government secrets, you leave, you either sell them or use them in a way that would be used against the government, that would be being a traitor. To stand up at your government and say, listen, you're not doing what it was set out for you to do. You're overstepping governmental lines. That's not being a traitor. That's being something else I can't think of the word for. It's important to teach civics in schools, which is lacking today, and always speak your voice. Informing others of the truth is a powerful tool. Oh, sorry, I need to check on that. Would be good. What would what would be good word? Betrayal. The government would be betraying its people if they overstep their bounds. It would be of the people's responsibility to stand up to the government when they overstep their bounds. And that's why it's a really hard call to make. Some people would even say right now that the government has made it so that their power can't be overstepped. And in some ways they have. But the people have allowed it to a point. You don't have enough standing up in California saying, okay, hold on, you're supposed to protect us, so you're lowering the criminal prosecution on this and raising criminal prosecution on something that's not criminal. Why should somebody pay $1,000 for handing out a straw that's worth 5 cents versus why should somebody pay $1,000 for giving somebody knowingly a life-threatening illness? And these things just don't add up. Yeah, that's where I think the fight's gonna start. Is not necessarily in Washington, but in California, maybe even New York. I can see a few places like New York City, Los Angeles. I see these as being where the rise of citizens to fight against the government will happen. The question comes, do we need that Second Amendment? No, the question doesn't come. Let me interject the question. Do we need the Second Amendment to defend the First? No! And yes! If you fight the government with guns, the government has the power to use their guns. If you fight the government with nothing, the power of the government is to use nothing. Remember that. What was his name? Mahatma Gandhi fought with peace. And most governments, non-socialist governments, will not fight back with aggression unless they're met with aggression. They won't shoot back at you unless you're shot at. However, at the same time, there is always that possibility that even our capitalist republic or democratic republic or whatever we're calling it now could be overtaken by a socialist republic, and it could still have the outward appearance of being democratic, but the actual democratic means taken away. Like, I don't know, Russia? Guns are a last resort. If we fight all routes through the legal system and the government still unconstitutional, the guns will be needed. And again, we get back to the point where if we ever do need the guns, the government far surpasses us, not to mention that the government is made up of people who live in the country. And our Constitution may not be written in the best way it could be to do the best, but for going on 300 years, I think, almost. Yeah, 250, going on 300 years, something like that. We've managed. There's always the argument and the contention between one side and the other. And I think the reason why we've managed is because of the argument and the contention. The time when that makes it unmanageable is when all there is the argument and contention. When sides argue with the desire to come to a resolution, it's a good argument, and the argument should continue. When sides argue with the resolve to not agree, then there's no real way of knowing what's going to come out of that. It's going to be a flip of a coin. One side's going to win or the other. And which side wins is based on when you ask. And that's not how it needs to be. If we all agree, or phenomenally agree, that one way should be the right way, we should find a middle ground in that way. And that is why things are the way they are at this point. We've kind of built up to where we are. And sometimes when you look at what's going on in the world, you realize we're either at a make or break point where people need to start paying attention, or they need to stop caring so much. Russia is a nation where free speech is not even considered a necessity. All what Russians want is stabilization, even a shitty one. And they have fake stabilization with what's happened since Putin has been sort of self-appointed in... There was a vote, and he won, but I don't know. I don't follow Russia enough to get to the in-depths in that, but there was a lot of conspiracy over, people dying to make sure he won. The government is meant to serve the public good, not dictate it. Yeah, to serve and protect. Why is the first thing some officers have to tell you is, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Oh, it's awesome when a police officer calls you and says, you need to come do this right now. Not paying opportunity. That's why I'm paying to protect my constitutional rights, protect us from foreign situations, bring justice against criminals. Hey, I'm a criminal. I served my time. Most people are the same, quite happy to live their life their way, as long as they don't force themselves on each other. Then I'm not cool with that. There is an awesome anarcho-capitalist argument that I have forced myself to sit through. And as much as it pains me to say, I don't agree with anarcho-capitalism, but I do agree with most of the concepts of anarcho-capitalism. And that is that people will make the choices that people will, and companies will rise and fall based on how they treat their people. who buy from the company. But the real question becomes today, has anybody even been taught to look at the other side of what happens when you do things? There's for every reaction, there's an equal or opposite reaction. For you signing up to Facebook, Facebook just signed up to you. And for you not paying, they're selling your information to make that money. For you using their site, they're collecting the data that you use their site for. There's a trade-off. I guess our mentality developed to sociocapitalism for 1,000 to 2,000 years of feudalism, so I'm not sure in a few generations we can change and consider government something that is not above everything. Pains me to say this. Riley Dennis put out a video a few days ago, about halfway through the video. I don't like Riley Dennis. I don't agree with much of anything Riley Dennis has to say. Why do I still watch Riley Dennis? Well, that's a good question. I'll have to answer that to myself one of these days. Halfway through the video, throws in there, and that's because of capitalism. Fuck capitalism anyway. And I paused it. I'm watching a video, not a stream. I'm watching a video. I don't think I've ever done this with many. And I paused it because the sheer just, what the fuck did I just hear? Just blew my fucking mind. Fuck capitalism. While you're sitting in an apartment with a friend you just flew to, I'm assuming, and wearing female clothes that you were allowed to wear, capitalism is a good part of what has forced all of the innovation that we have. All of the differences and the abilities and the ways that have created the means for people like Riley Dennis to be like Riley Dennis. For you to denounce capitalism because you think that it works against your best interests is phenomenally ignorant. Wait, what do we got going on in the chat here? NumbedSkull, you have a secret trap fetish. NumbedSkull posed the trap. Hot. I don't have a problem with Riley Dennis. I have a problem with what's said by Riley Dennis. Notice how I'm being very careful on my wording of my sentences in this. To disagree with capitalism is fine. To disagree with capitalism when you're trying to make money from capitalism is ignorant at best. If you are on the internet, and Riley has complained about ads, if you are on the internet trying to sell your videos for ads, you are being capitalistic. You are attempting to make money from producing something. So, how can you not like capitalism? Utter hypocrisy. It is. I'm here on the internet selling you stuff and making my ad revenue and creating videos about all this cool stuff that I do with my money. But fuck capitalism, because everybody should be given money and allowed to do whatever they want. What? I'm not connecting A with B here. There must be another instruction book. Nope, it wasn't included. Damn, I've been IKEA'd. Hold on. What's going on here? Wait, I lost my train of thought. No more jokes. Wait, how did I get from YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter to Riley Dennis? Fuck, I'm off topic here. Did I have a topic? Capitalism not perfect. There are plenty of criticisms to be had. However, when people say communism is better, they always lie about the communist capitalist facts. Alright, well, to carry that on, I happen to believe that the most prosperous society would probably be a communist society or a socialist society of some sort. However, as an addendum to that, I do not believe that we are in any way capable of that type of society yet. I believe what it will take is an absolute computerization of everything to where manual labor is something people do for fun and not so much as a necessity to pay for home finances. At that point, a socialist society will probably begin to flourish real well. However, some people probably believe we're almost in that point now where if you can walk into a store and have everything you need, then just being able to get what you need and go would work for everyone. But knowing how people are, you would have those that say, well, I need a TV because there's not one in this room. And does that TV get paid for by everybody's money, or do you get it when it breaks? How many TVs are you allowed to have? Can you pick which TV you want? Do you get to pick from the bigger one, or do you got to take the smaller one because it's the only one produced? Who's producing those TVs, and why are they going to want to if they're not making money? If it's all robots, cool. They're going to always produce the TVs. What relevancy does the money have to the robots? So the cost is then on the items. Well, somebody's selling the items. Somewhere along the way, if there's anything that's capitalist about the chain of products, it is going to be a capitalist sale. In order for you to go communist, everything all the way along the line has to be communist. If you want to go socialist, everything along the line has to be socialist. But then you do that, think that if you want to, Riley Dennis, sit there and make YouTube videos and go hang out with your friends and go buy women's clothing. You can't, because that is a capitalist choice. In a socialist or communist choice, you, Riley Dennis, you need to go make clothing. You don't get to pick what you wear. You take what we decide you can have. You don't get to pick what you do. You get to take what we decide you can do. If you want to go buy a big TV, but we deem that those big TVs aren't necessary in our society, you can only have what we deem acceptable because that's all that's going to be made. Because you want something doesn't mean you can have it. That's how socialism works. In capitalism, if you want something, you work to get it. In socialism, if you want something, and you're going to continue to want it because you're never going to get it. Unless you're on top, in which case anything you want, you get. Current capitalism is not that bad. Capitalism in XIX country is terrible. Skullbot. If things are completely automated, then where is the money coming from? That's what I'm saying, Olenska. In order for you to eliminate capitalism, in order for a socialist or communist society to grow out of capitalism, there cannot be capitalism anywhere in there. Nowhere can money be traded or anything be traded or acquired for other trades or acquisitions. It is, this metal goes here. It then gets separated into these components and sent to these places. These places make these things. Those things go to these places. It's laid out. It's in a path. There's no fiscal trade. It is, this is what is to be done, and it gets done. You don't get rewarded for your work. You don't get not rewarded for your not work. That, and even then, it still comes down to, meritocracy is kind of capitalistic. So if you're rewarded for something, if you're better than somebody for something you've done, you've been merited. That's rewarding. That's payment. That's capitalist. It's really hard to get away from. The only way we're going to be able to do it is to eliminate everything all the way along. You can't have people in charge. You just have to have everybody at the same level agreeing on what needs to be done. So there would be no captain of a ship. There would be no leader. Or maybe the leader would be the robot and it would be recommendations and not law. I don't know how that would work. As long as there are flawed, these two systems won't work. Maybe it needs to be something between a capitalist socialism. Social capitalism. Sociocapitalism. There we go. I have a new term. Let's create it. Let me get to my Wiktionary and I'll go add the new word right now. Now I forgot what it was. Sociocapitalism. I'm going to write that down somewhere. Sociocapitalism. Sociocapitalism. New word. I'll look it up later. Make sure I'm wrong. There's always going to be ways to make things better than they are now. The challenge is going to be to make things better than they are for everybody by coming to an understanding with other parties involved that not every way is going to be better and you're going to have to take some loss. We already have a kind of socio-capitalism. We are a capitalist society with social programs. No? Yes. Yes, we are. So maybe we are a socio-capitalist economy. That would make Canada and Britain. Maybe that's the new trend that we're moving into. And in 20 years, somebody's never going to know I came up with the word because some professor's going to use it. And we are in the era of socio-capitalism, where people need to work hard for what they get, but we're willing to reward those who aren't willing to work at all. I should add that to the title. I should add that to the title. I don't know how. Let me give me a minute. Never changed the title in the... Shooting the crap and new word... Socio-capitalism. Save. Oh, let it be known. Write it on the scrolls. Socio-capitalism. None was here. 2018. I'm gonna have to look that up though to see if it is already a word or another denomination or something of something. Let's see. I need a new window here. Google socio-capitalism. Nope, I don't see it here. I see social capitalism. Yay! How much does it cost me to make a new word? $1,500? Yay! I don't have that. Not doing it. Oh, now that we've come up with some fun stuff, does anybody else have anything? Are any of the people that weren't here at the beginning, or any of the three, let's see, is Astronaut still here, or Malachi, or Saki still here? I think Saki already has his own custom bot command in here, though. If anybody else is still here, speak up now if you want a bot command. And then we're going to probably bounce out of here on this stream here within the next 10 to 12 minutes at the latest. Because I could use a cigarette. Apparently they're going to make Jasmine more outspoken and stronger when the cartoon Jasmine was already those things. It was... When cartoon Jasmine came out, she was outspoken in a time when women were just starting to become outspoken. And... it was in a time when it was known that if you weren't the leader, whatever the leader said goes, and she was a princess, not a queen. She tried to speak up where she felt her place was, and that was what the movie put out, or what the cartoon put out. So if you're going to make her talk more, don't take this the wrong way. This isn't racist, but the only way you could do that is by putting an overpowering big black woman in there. And anytime somebody says something, she's going to spike up and say, now don't you open your mouth. I ain't going to listen to what you got to say. You better get your ass in your room and get it clean, and I ain't cooking no chicken for dinner. Did I just say all Sorry. Shit happens. That's the only thing I can see, is they want to put a black person in there who doesn't shut up. I have no problem with black people. I have a problem with overpowering black people. I'll sit there and have a conversation with people all day long. No power until you tell me to get my ass and do something. You don't have the right power. I wonder how they're going to depict this era during that time. Oh, man. They're going to depict us as savages beating on computers and screaming and drinking and doing drugs. In 150 years, they're going to be looking back on us like we're all crackheads. Every damn last one of us. You remember President Trump? Yeah. He did cocaine, that druggie. No, he didn't. I don't care. Oh, I guess everybody else left us. We're just talking to the bots now. We're just talking to the bots. So, I think it is time for me to go have that cigarette. I think so. We came up with a new word. I picked on black people inappropriately. I think I've succeeded in my day. And look, I've had Nightbot up here this whole time. Good thing the word wasn't up there, huh? The word. Alright, guys. Ooh, look at that. Deja vu. Guys, gals, and bots somewhere in between, thank you for joining me. The Great Debate is on Mondays at 9 right now. The Numbed Wasteland is Saturdays at 7 p.m. I don't know what else I'm doing right now. It's summertime. Well, it's nice out, except for today. It's raining. So I figured I'd do one of these. This is going to be my I got shit that I got pulling up in my head. What am I going to do with it other than spurt it out somewhere? And, you know, I just rambled for a while. Thank you, Olenska. I appreciate it. Jasmine will be so strong and perfect. All of the men will be flawed, and the period of the culture... And that period in culture at that time is just fine. Nothing to see here. Alright, with that, everybody, have yourselves a wonderful day. I'm going to go brave and see how bad it's raining outside, and I'm going to try and enjoy it. Maybe if it dries up, I'll get in my hammock and relax. Thanks, everybody. Good afternoon to you all.